What is going on, everybody? My name is Kincaid, and this is a review of the Panthera electric start kit for a YZ250. If you're new to the channel, I've spent the last few months building this electric start YZ300 woods bike that will be given to one lucky winner at the end of May. If you would like to see the start to finish process of this bike being built, I will link that on screen. And if you like dirt bikes, snowmobiles, everything action sports, please consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like rating on this video. Without further ado, let's talk about the Panthera electric start. Full disclaimer, this bike has 1.5 hours on the meter. That includes all of the heat cycling, quite a bit of riding around my neighborhood getting it tuned, as well as one ride on dirt. So I don't have tons of hours and extensive testing on the kit. So with that said, I am here to give you a review of the kit with what I know about it so far. Also, you're probably looking at this bike thinking it's a 2022 or 2023 YZ250, when in reality it's actually a 2005, and I simply used a 23 subframe, airbox, seat, tank, and plastics to make this work. So over at Panthera, they were willing to do a little bit of a mix and match on the kits because the battery box for the 23 is actually different than for the 05. So first off, let's talk about the components and installation. Installation went pretty smoothly for me. I did have to go back one time and reseal a leak. That was my own fault. I did not silicone the clutch cable itself, so I was getting some transmission fluid coming out of that hole in the case. Once I went back and resealed that, no more leaks, everything's working great. Routing all of the wiring was pretty straightforward. For the 22 and 23 battery box design, it is very sleek. It actually just sits right on top of the subframe. I know a lot of people's concern with this kit is how difficult is it to change the air filter. I know for the older style airbox, it is a little bit more tricky because that battery box is mounted in there and you do have to get around it. I believe for that, people tend to remove both side panels to make it a little easier for access, and it can still be done. But with the 22-23 battery box, it is not a hassle at all. You literally pull the seat off, pull the battery box out to the side, and change the air filter as if the electric start kit was not installed. One thing I can say with this generation is if you decide to get the charging system, the rectifier sits on the bottom of the battery box, and the battery box does not sit flush on the subframe. It is not an issue. The battery box doesn't move around or anything. The seat holds it in place nicely. We had no issues while riding the bike. But if you're a little OCD like me, it would be nice if that battery box sat completely flush with the rectifier. The only other thing I really ran into was having to modify the shift lever to fit around that cover. As you can see, I am using an aftermarket shift lever on this bike, so I'm sure that makes a difference. I imagine the OEM one fits without modifications. Panthera also offers a carbon fiber guard that covers the entire starter assembly. I personally think the look of this machined cover and seeing the starter is pretty sleek, and that carbon fiber guard adds just a little bit more thickness, which would give me further issues with shifter clearance. So I decided to just run it like this, but just to be known, there is a carbon fiber guard that covers that entire assembly down there. So beyond installation, let's talk about functionality. This kit has been flawless since I installed it. I still have the Kickstarter on this bike, but I haven't used it a single time since installing the electric start. Even with the bike cold, really makes no difference. Thing fires right up. Of course, the bike has to be tuned properly. You can't have an improperly jetted, low compression bike and expect the electric start to do its job well. You need to start with a solid platform and the button does its job. Also, as I said, this is not a 250, this is actually a 300. Panthera offers both a 4-cell and 8-cell battery. With the 22-23 airbox, the only option is the 4-cell battery, and this battery has no problem firing up this 300. Gas isn't even on right now, but there's probably some left in the float bowl, so bike is dead cold right now. So that there is a testament to this kit. Now, of course, let's talk a little bit about the price point. Depending on the kit you get, these range from about $1,500 to just shy of $2,000, which is of course not a small amount of money, but you get a lot for it. There are only so many two-stroke options available anymore, and if you like a carburetor and you like Japanese bikes, really the only thing lacking on these Yamahas anymore, especially for off-road use, is that electric start button. And when you look at the price of a brand new YZ250 versus a brand new KTM 250, I think it comes out pretty close to buy the YZ and add electric start. So I'm not really trying to get into a discussion of KTM versus Yamaha. I'm just trying to make it clear that despite that price point, for a lot of riders, this kit might actually make sense. All of the parts seem to be super high quality. The machining is very impressive. So as a whole, with the experience I have with it so far, the Panthera electric start kit gets 2 big thumbs up from me. If you have any additional questions or would like me to elaborate on anything, leave me a comment below. I do my best to respond to everyone that I can. A big thanks to Panthera for supporting this project. They're good people who have been really easy to work with and quick to respond to any questions I've had. While I did reach out to Panthera and they decided to support this project, these are my genuine, honest thoughts about the kit. So to whoever wins this bike, I hope the kit continues to perform flawlessly for many, many hours to come. So links to the kit will be on screen and in the description below, as well as links to my social media and the full build video for this bike. Again, subscribe if you would like to see this thing delivered to the winner after they're selected on May 31st. Thanks a ton for watching, and I hope you learned something in this video.